Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a family game night video. I'm kind of telling stories about some of the old games that I played in years ago or ran, and this one is a Recon role-playing game story. I believe families need to get together and bond, and there's no better way, especially at these times when we're stuck at home all the time, with this forced quarantine bullshit. There's no better way for a family to sit together and bond than over a game. And these games are fun. They're just fun. This particular one is called Mercenary, Missionary, Mayhem, and you'll understand why. Years ago, I was running a recon game, and the players had survived Vietnam and moved on to mercenary work, which means they were freelance soldiers for hire and soldiers of fortune, as it were. And they they had done some stuff in various places and had gained a little bit of a reputation. So, reputation's a good thing in mercenary work, especially if it's a successful reputation. If you have a reputation where you sometimes get it done and sometimes don't, it's iffy. But these guys were pretty successful. So the group had been hired to rescue some missionaries in South America. And what had happened was a local warlord had been executing anyone not from that country, and he didn't care if it was in a hospital or in a church or whatever. He just if they weren't from that country, he was executing them just with a machete, you know. So turns out 5 missionaries and a priest were hiding in the basement of an old church, one of those big adobe churches with the steeple, the whole 9 yards, But it was run down, hadn't been used in years, but they were hiding in the basement. So the group got hired and they flew down there and they landed in the jungle they hired him a pilot, and the pilot, all he did was fly, because we didn't have enough players. We only had 3 players. So the pilot flew him down there, and these 3 guys got out, and they were heading over to the church to get these missionaries. Well, they had come upon a number of checkpoints, and John, I believe it was John, he said something along the lines of, well, this is a lot of activity for this area. We got to get in there quick. Is there a way we can get there faster? And so George, being the industrious individual that he was, killed 2 guys and stole their Jeep. So, he jumps in the Jeep, and these were bad guys, so it's not like they were killing good guys. They killed some of the warlord dudes, stole their Jeep, and were heading over there. So they park well away, and they get out, and they hide the Jeep, and they sneak over to this church, and they find out that this church now is the local warlord has set up shop right there in the church. He hasn't found the missionaries yet, but because they're hiding underneath, and the door is hidden, but they're using it as like a command post. And so the guys figure, well, we got to get these missionaries out of here. So they come up with a plan. One guy goes around front, one guy goes around back, and George is waiting. And they open up and they kill or drive off all of the warlord's men, because it wasn't a huge thing. It was, maybe a dozen guys. And with surprise and automatic weapons, they can do that. If I remember correctly, Chaz had a sniper rifle. It was George, Chaz, and John. Chaz had a sniper rifle, and he was picking off the lieutenants and sergeants and like that. And if I remember right, John had a shotgun, but George had a submachine gun, and he was just spraying them. And they, with surprise, again, these guys, they weren't battle tested or trained. They were local thugs the guy had hired, so they took off running. So basically, Chaz made his way around back, and he's hiding by the old well. John crawled around the front, and he crawled underneath an old flatbed trailer that was up on blocks. An old truck with a flatbed, and he's hiding underneath it. Well, the George made his way to the front and was getting ready to go inside. Unbeknownst to them, when all the fighting started, one of the bad guys went up into the bell tower, and he's up there, and he's got a rifle, and he's looking down, and he sees John hiding under the trailer. So he takes a shot at him. And he misses, but he hits the trailer, and everybody, holy crap, So then this guy ducks down into the bell tower. Well, John, thinking that somebody's up there shooting at him, which they are, he says, I'll get this guy. He can't see him, but he knows where he is. He throws a grenade up there. The Grenade sails over, and of course John missed badly. And it flies over and lands near the well and blows up. And it almost got Chaz. And Chaz is like, holy crap. So he takes a grenade and he throws it back, and he goes over and he misses. He goes over the church and lands over near the flatbed trailer and blows up. And John's like, well, this ain't going to cut it. And he throws another grenade, and it goes over the church to the back and right next to Chaz. And so Chaz jumps up and lands into the well, and it blows up, and he's hanging inside the well. And he's like, oh, screw this. He gets up there and he pulls up a grenade and he throws it back up there. But because he's hunched in a little well and he throws it, he misses, and it goes over. And this one lands on the flatbed trailer and blows up. And when it blew up, of course, John died. So Chaz is hanging in the back down in the well. At this point, hearing all this commotion, George kicks the door open and runs in and just sprays the room. And it kills 2 of the bad guys. Well, George is going room to room inside the church. He'll kick a door open and spray. Kick a door open and spray. Well, it got to one point, the monotony of doing it finally got to him, and he forgot to say, I'm going to reload. So he kicks the door open, and he goes, click. And the bad guy that's in there sees him and goes, click. George forgot to reload. The bad guy's gun jammed. So they're rolling initiatives to see who goes first. And it was just, because at this point during that round, one's loading his gun and the other's clearing his weapon. So whoever got first initiative next round was going to kill the other guy. It was kind of hair-raising. Meanwhile, outside, this guy up in the bell tower sees that John's dead. Okay. And so he's looking over here and he sees Chaz trying to climb up out of the well, and he's a perfect target. And it goes, bam, and kills him dead. Chaz falls back down inside the well, dead. So George wins the initiative and kills the guy. And there's nobody left in the church that he can see. So he goes down and he's stomping around trying to find the door to this underground basement area, the cellar to the church where these people are hiding. And meanwhile, the guy up in the bell tower, he's climbing down the ladder. Well, George sees the door, and he's trying to get it open, but the people on the other side don't know it's him. They think they got found, and they're holding the door shut. So George is working his butt off trying to get that door open. Well, he hears something behind him. He turns around, and this guy's climbing down off the ladder, and of course George goes, pop, and kills him dead. So all the bad guys are dead. Yay. So George is trying to get this door open, and he finally gets the door open, and some lady in there with a long pole that they've sharpened stabs him, wounds him. Didn't kill him, but it wounds him. And George is like, oh man, I'm here to rescue you. And they're like, oh, sorry, So they carry George to the Jeep. Yeah, he's rescuing them. They carry him to the Jeep, get him in there, and they drive off to find the pilot, and and they leave. But that was an interesting adventure. They went to rescue the missionaries, and ended up being the only one of them that survived. Ended up getting rescued by the missionaries. Sometimes you just can't have a good rescue. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.